Interesting. Yep. So this is all part one.
Okay.
All right. This is all part one. This is, yep. Part 2 is not open yet.
Well, we broke up the first part in 2 parts, though. That's what he's asking.
Yeah.
Sean, you're on. Your mic is live now. If you could say that we're trying to work on the video part.
So we are trying to work on the live video for YouTube channel, and we just got the projector started here at Westside. So you're on YouTube. Hopefully some voice, and I'm not sure if the camera will be on the projector here soon to help you out there at YouTube. But at number 16, a blank foul may be a personal or technical foul of a violent or savage nature. So we have flagrant. All right, so flagrant foul is an automatic ejection of the player. So this is a kick, this is a spit, this is a punch. Once they do one flagrant foul, whether it's dead ball technical or live ball, it's an automatic ejection. So 16 is flagrant. We'll go down to number 17. A common foul committed by a member of the throw-in team from the start of the throw-in until player control is obtained in bounds is what we have here, team control foul. Because once the official hands the ball to the thrower, they now have team control. And that's important for what perspective is that important?
There's no bonus if the foul occurs by that offensive team.
Perfect. It's important if that offensive team commits a foul, and let's say it's the team's 5th foul, they're not going to shoot bonus free throws because it's a team control foul. So that's the importance of that. We're going to pass around the microphone now, and when we do that, just make sure it's green. Green means you're on, and just talk into it as normal. You don't have to change voice at all. So Dave, Mr. Christensen, number 18.
A non-contact foul which consists of unfair, unethical, or dishonorable conduct is an intentional foul, a sporting foul, common foul, or none of the above. I have unsporting foul.
All right, so unsporting foul. All right, so if you feel a player, a coach is doing something unethical, right? If they're doing something dishonorable, unfair, right, you can't give them that unsporting technical foul.
So what would be an example of that?
What's that?
You say unsporting technical?
Yeah, it has to be unsporting technical because it's not contact.
Oh.
Yeah, this would be not contact. So, an example of, yeah, that's actually a great example. So here, that coach, their opponent is shooting the free throw, and that coach lines up right even with that free throw line, and rides that free throw shooter, shoots. The coach yells, "I got shooter!" Or does something to disconcert. I mean, that's unethical, unfair. A grown adult should not be doing that to an opposing shooter at the free throw line. All right, so that's a great example. All right, number 19. Who's got the handy dandy microphone? Go ahead, Jason.
19. A team control foul is a common foul.
Right. That is correct. So team control is just one of those 7 common fouls. Because when we get to technical, flagrant, intentional, there's a whole new penalty that goes with an intentional, flagrant, and technical, where team control is just a common foul going towards the team total and the player total. Number 20.
Which of the following changes to the scorebook with less than 10 minutes before the scheduled starting time result in an administrative technical foul? Adding name, change it. All the above.
All right, it is all the above. I always tell varsity officials, don't wait until the 10-minute mark to go check the book. You should actually go check the book at the 12-minute mark. All right, I usually meet the coaches 13:13. That way I get the book by 12, because if something is incorrect in the book, we still have 2 minutes to resolve it without starting the game with a technical foul. Right, if you wait till 10 and then they have to change something, then by rule, you have to administer the administrative technical foul to start the game, which is never fun. All right, 21 through 30. All right, number 21, what do we got? Go for it.
An undershirt is required to be a single solid color, be a similar color of the torso to the jersey, or solid black under visiting team dark jerseys only, be the same length if it has sleeves, and that is all the above.
All right, all of the above. That's one of the new rules this year. Visiting team, they can wear black undershirt. Just all players of that team have to wear the same color undershirt. 22.
After coming to a stop when neither foot can be a pivot, it's going to be all of the above. One or both feet may be lifted but not returned to the floor. Neither foot may be lifted before the ball is released. One or both feet may be lifted but not returned to the floor before a try.
All right, so traveling is, we're going to actually have 2 traveling in the film today. But what is the situation where they have both feet on the floor and neither one of them can be a pivot? How does a player get to that position? All right, jump stop from. All right, yep. So I get the ball with 1, and then I land on 2. Now I cannot move either pivot foot. All right, so that's how a player gets to that position. All right, number 23.
A player may legally jump from the front court, secure control of the ball with both feet off the floor, and return to the floor with one or both feet in the backcourt during a jump ball, during a throw-in, while on defense, all the above. All the above.
All right, it is all of the above on that one. So jump ball, I don't think there's anything on the jump ball today.
Hey, Sean, let's go back to 22.
Okay.
After you come to this stop and either foot can be used as a pivot, you can lift them. It's not a violation until that foot returns to the floor.
Not on the dribble.
You can't like jump to shoot and dribble instead.
Yeah, so
Well, it says on a try, number 3, the C.
one of the both feet may be lift but not return to the floor before a try.
You can lift either one.
That's what this is saying.
That's what it's saying. Yep. Yep.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
Never mind.
So 23, going back to legally jump from the front court, secure control of the ball. On an inbounds, there is no front court, back court status. That's why they could do it there. All right. On defense, obviously, defense can be anywhere because they don't have control of the ball. And once they get control of the ball, no court status is there until they land on the floor. Okay. Number 24.
It is an out of bounds violation if a player leaves the court to avoid a violation, leaves the court and is the first person to touch the ball after returning to the court, leaves the court to avoid a screen, all of the above, or A and B. I had B.
All right, it is the second one, B. All right, so again, that's a new rule this year because a lot of officials stopped calling it last year. So now they're calling it for the intent of the rule. They leave, they gain an advantage by they're the first one then to touch it. When they come back in play, now we just have an out of bounds violation.
Boss, that's the wrong answer.
That's the wrong answer?
I had always been.
No, it's A and B.
A leaves the court to avoid a violation.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons you cannot leave, is to avoid a violation.
Okay, so the play, and I could be wrong on these answers, by the way, that's why I love these meetings. The play I'm thinking, I save the basketball, right? Because I'm avoiding a violation, so now I'm going out of bounds. You can't go out of bounds for that?
No, I believe that the scenario they gave is that you're trying to avoid a violation on yourself, such as
3 seconds?
a 3 second or double dribble type thing.
Okay, I like, okay.
So, and the rule reference is 933.
All right.
or to avoid violation. All right. So 24, A and B. Kevin Kennedy's not in the house. Kevin, that might have been the one you got incorrect. All right. Is he? Nice. All right, number 25.
25, a try for goal on a free throw attempt shall be made within 10 seconds.
10 seconds, 11 seconds, 12 seconds. All right, but no, in all seriousness, two-person trail official, three-person center official. You're counting the 10-second down to your side, away from that shooter. You don't want to chop it to distract that shooter at all. Just a hand count down to your side. Oh. Number 26.
If the player awarded the free throw attempt is withdrawn from the game because of injury, the free throw shall be attempted by the injured player's substitute, is what I have.
Okay, that is correct. And who gets to pick that injured player substitute?
Coach.
Yep, that coach of that team. All right, so
just hold it on the light plate.
there's a little different rules in different levels of basketball. So if you're in that situation and a coach says, no, I get to pick the shooter, you just got to let them know, nope, not in high school basketball. All right, high school basketball, that coach of that team of the injured player gets to pick the substitute shooter. 27.
Which of the following constitutes the illegal contact? D, all of the above.
All right, D, all of the above. One great thing about the film we have today, there's about 12 judgment calls on illegal contact, incidental contact, and sort of a little theme going here today will be the balance of arts and science of basketball. All right, number 28. Brian?
All right. By definition, which of the following is not considered a violation? A player accidentally kicking the ball during live ball action?
All right, so the key word there is accidentally kicking. So if I pass it into my opponent's leg, that is not intentional. It's got to be an intentional movement, raising of the leg, using the leg to bring in that basketball when the ball's loose on the ground. We see that sometimes. So they cannot intentionally use the leg. 29.
Following the free throw of a technical foul, A1 makes a throw in from the division line opposite the scoring table. Thrown pass is deflected by B1 at A's free throw line and goes directly through Team A's basket. All of the above, score 2 points. Throw in ended when the ball touched the inbounds player, and the fact that it was a try for goal does not affect scoring the 2 points.
Excellent. Crazy play, but it is all the above. Number 30.
Which of the following is goaltending? B34 touches the ball outside the cylinder on a free throw attempt. Touches the ball in downward flight outside the cylinder and above the ring level. Touches the ball in its downward flight outside the cylinder and above ring level on an inbounds pass. Both A and B. Both A and B.
All right. Everyone good with that one? All right, because the weird one is the free throw, right? All right, so during that free throw attempt, B can't just go in there and swat it away. All right, so have not seen it, but as they say on rules test, there's a reason why it's on there. I think this is where I left off answering the question, so now we don't have an answer key. Number 31.
The player control signal, number 35, hand behind the head, is used to indicate which of the following: a common foul committed by a player dribbling the ball, a common foul committed by an airborne shooter, a common foul committed by a member of the team that has control of the ball, or all the above.
All of the above. So I know in our varsity tryout last week, somebody asked, what's the signal on an illegal screen? And the signal on an illegal screen is closed fist, hand behind your head, point the direction in which it's going to go. I am still trying to break about 22 years of habit on that. All right, and I'm trying to do the signal, illegal screen, team control, going this way. All right, so all offensive team control fouls is the hand behind the head. So illegal screen, a push, a charge, whenever that offensive team fouls.
Did it used to be hands on a
Yeah, it used to be an illegal screen used to be a block.
block?
If I were to like push my opponent while cutting, we would go push. All right, and the reason for it, actually, we have, well, it's during the shot. Never mind, ignore that next statement. What it does, it clears up any confusion of which team fouled. All right, so whenever the offensive team fouls, we go like this. So now everybody knows whatever foul it is, it's against the offense. It's going to be the other team's ball. Whereas if we went like this, or if we went like this, we don't know which team fouled. So that's why they changed that mechanic. It's always offensive foul.
Hey, Sean,
Yep.
on that clinic we did, if you were to call that number 3 who was shooting and was always sticking his leg out to get contacted, that'd be the signal we would use for going on him.
Yep. And I would call in that case for high school push, displacing the opponent. Number 32.
Point of interruption is a method of resuming play after a double personal foul, a correctable error, an official's inadvertent whistle, an interrupted game, or all of the above. All of the above.
All of the above. All right, so a couple things that would cause an interrupted game. Somebody running onto the floor. This has happened before, like Skittles spilled all over the court. All right. It's got during the winter and it starts snowing and all this ice comes into the gymnasium. If you think it's too slippery around the court, boop, stop the game, clean the court as much as you possibly can. So those are some examples of interrupted game. So double personal fouls, 2 post players just pushing each other. Okay, so wherever that ball is, put it at the point of interruption there after you enforce both those fouls. We never have inadvertent whistles in basketball, right? No. What this is a little side note, it's still a little football season. I think it is amazing. Football, we always tell officials, spit the whistle, spit the whistle, spit the whistle. And we have inadvertent whistles all the time. Basketball, we have the whistles in our mouth all the time. And inadvertent whistles. Kind of weird. Number 33.
While dribbling, the player is considered in the front court when either foot and the ball touch the front court, the ball touches the front court, both feet and the ball touch the front court, or both feet touch the front court. That is C, both feet and the ball.
All right, excellent. So 33, while dribbling. All right, I think we talked about it a little bit last week. If I'm just holding the basketball, not dribbling, I'm just holding the basketball. I have 1 foot across. I'm holding the basketball. I lift up. Now I lift back down. Now we got backcourt. This one's now dribbling the basketball. Okay. Right? That's where that 3-point principle comes into play. Number 34.
Number 34, light-colored uniforms bottoms may include A, shorts, B, pants, C, skirts, D, all of the above. Your answer is D, all of the above.
All right, D, all of the above. I know there's quite a few college examples out there already. I've not heard of any high school, but it's got to be the similar theme, similar color. All right, so it could be different style, short, skirt, or pants. It just has to be similar color. All right, 35.
If undershirts are worn, they must be a solid color similar to the jersey or black under visiting team dark jerseys only. Only be black in color, be white, only be one solid color. Like A.
All right, it is A. All right, so again, this is a second rule or test question like this because it is a new rule. Undershirts, one solid color, right, similar to the jersey, or if it's the visiting team, black. As well, we got quite a while for jamborees start, but we'll revisit uniforms when jamborees start. 36.
Number 36, 2 bonus free throws are awarded after a team's blank foul in each quarter. 7th, 9th, 5th, or 10th. Correct answer is C, 5th.
Right, so new rule this year. Right, each quarter, once a team has 5 team fouls, the opponent will get 2 free throws. At the end of the first quarter, we'll start at 0. We do have 2 youth tournaments. I did send them an email about are they going to change to this new rule. I've not heard back yet. As I told you, has anyone worked youth tournaments yet this year, last weekend? Did they change the rule, or are they still going 7 in the half? Okay. 7? Okay. What's that? I have not. I have not yet, because they do play quarters. So I will encourage that. I know Pell just had their first meeting tonight. I'll get some feedback after that first meeting, and then I'll give them a suggestion. I think since they play quarters, we
They
should
usually
change it.
play high school rules anyhow.
Yep. Yep. 20-minute halves, I don't see them changing. I don't see them changing.
At the end of sorry.
What's that? Yep. So if they keep it, they'll just make it a tournament rule. So they'll say 17 fouls, 1 free throw award in the bonus. 10 team fouls and a half will be a 2 free throw award. Who's got? Go ahead.
At the end of each quarter, team fouls remain the same. Team fouls are reduced by 2 fouls. Team fouls are reset to 0, and none of the above. C. Team fouls are reset to 0.
Mr. Ford, do you think this is an incorrect answer? No, all right. No, this is the correct answer. But at the end of the fourth quarter, we don't. We keep it the same. But overtime's the extension of the fourth quarter. So that's a little black and white in me. Yep. Love it. Never said extra period, bonus, 1.
Number 38. Team A is dribbling the ball in its backcourt when Team B commits a common foul before the bonus. Team A will be granted a throw in from one of the, let's see. I'm going to say B.
It is B. All right, so that rule change of the 4 designated spots is only in the front court. All right, since the foul took place in the back court, we're still going to go to the place nearest the spot of the foul. Also remember, they get a new 10 seconds as well to still get across the division line. 39.
When the ball is in the offensive team front court, the designated spot for the throw-in will be either the nearest 28-foot mark along each sideline or the nearest spot 3 feet outside the lane line on the end line if A, the defensive team commits a violation, B, the defensive team commits a common foul prior to the bonus, C, a timeout is called, D, all the above. D, all the above.
You guys have all the above? Cool. All right, number 40.
When an official administers a
New rule this year. All right, it is now B. All right, so they're extending the time where we could correct that mistake. All right, so we give it to the wrong team. They're dribbling around for 20 seconds. At that time, we're like, oh, shoot. All right, stop the play, give it to the right team.
You don't change the time.
You do not change the time. Time stays exactly the same. Well, the shot clock will reset because you're giving it to the other team.
I thought it said that we could
Is that the NSAA handout?
I think so. I'll look for it.
All right. If
Rule 766.
did it talk about timing in 766? Okay. So if we do fine, we'll come back. It's question 40. All right, during 41.
During bonus free throws, substitutions may be made before the first attempt, only after all attempts were made, before the first attempt, before the final attempt, none of the above. C.
All right, so C, before the final attempt. Can it still be made after the last free throw is made? Yes. All right, so don't think that's the only time they could sub. They could still sub after the second bonus free throw is made. Number 42.
The following number of timeouts may be charged to each team during a regulation game. I got B, 2 60-second timeouts and 3 30-second timeouts.
I wish. It's 3 full and then 2:30.
I got it backwards.
All right, so 3 full, 2:30. We did talk about this in varsity tryouts. When should we start this timeout? Players get to their bench. Let's dead ball officiate, get the players to their bench. Now let's report it. Now let's start it. All right, don't go straight to the table and start that timeout. All right, dead ball officiate after those players get to the bench, then go report and start that timeout. 43.
The referee may correct an obvious mistake by the timer to start or stop the clock properly only when the home team head coach agrees with the timer, the visiting team head coach agrees with the timer, both coaches agree with the timer, or the referee has definite information relative to the time involved. D.
Yeah. All right, it is D. All right, so now it says the referee, all right, and the reason why they say it's the referee, because whenever we have a timing concern, U1, U2 referee come together and say, all right, I had 13. If Zach had 14, Chad had 15, as a referee, I'm going to put 15 on the clock. I'm going to go with the highest amount of time on the clock that we as a crew had definite knowledge. Referee, go to the table, let them know. Make sure both coaches know as well. Right? Because obviously the defensive coach might want less time on the clock. All right, so let the coaches know how much time we're putting on the clock. Number 44.
All right, 44. The ball is out of bounds when it is touched by a player who's out of bounds, the supports or back of the backboard, the ceiling overhead equipment, or supports, or all of the above. D, all of the above.
All right, all the above. All right, so in all of our training, we keep on telling officials, don't watch the ball won't foul. Don't watch the ball won't foul. Then all of a sudden, we have a last-second shot, heave-ho down the court, and we have that net that divides, that volleyball net that's raised up. Well, now we got to watch that ball. All right, so any weird shot at the end of the game, there was a play, I think it was Norfolk versus Prep a couple years ago. Full court shot, does it hit the pillar? Does it not hit the pillar? Goes in. All right, so just be aware, again, end of the game communication. If you're at a gym that has overhanging structures, let's just make sure we're watching that ball, make sure it doesn't hit anything. Number 45.
The ball becomes live when on a jump ball, the toss ball leaves the official's hand. On a throw in, it is at the disposal of the thrower. On a free throw, it is at the disposal of the free thrower. All of the above. I'll say all of the above.
All right, it is all of the above. All right, so a couple game situations. We're going to see a quick tip. Since that ball is live, once it leaves the referee's hands, there's a violation. Boom, that ball's live. We call it violation. A disposable at the thrower. Disposable, wow. Disposal of the thrower. So let's say that free throw thrower doesn't, or inbound thrower doesn't catch it cleanly on our bounce, and it goes onto the court. Reset. The ball's not live yet because they never controlled the basketball. Same thing on a free throw. All right, so boom, we pass it to the free thrower, goes off their foot. They reach across to pick up that basketball. Since they never controlled it, it's not live. So we're just going to reset and do it all over. 46.
During a jump ball, neither jumper shall touch the toss ball before it reaches its highest point. Leave the center restraining circle until the ball has been touched. Touch the ball more than twice. That's all of the above.
All right, all the above. Again, we'll touch on this jump ball. The opening jump of this game that I have queued up, they do quick tip it. All right, so got to be aware of that. And they can touch it twice. They just can't touch it more than twice. And they definitely can't grab it. All right, they can't just jump up and grab it like a rebound. So U1 or U2 could have any violation around that center circle. U1 chops it in. So once that ball is legally touched, that's when we're going to chop it in. Yeah, if they get it early, either U1 or U2 could call it. 47.
During pregame, the official shall verify with the head coach that all team members are properly equipped, verify how many timeouts will be used, verify all team members' names, designate the coach's box. Verify head coach that all team members are properly equipped.
And this is good. I'm going to make a specific video just for pregame meetings with coaches. It was brought to my attention because we always talk about plate meeting in baseball and softball. And we really never talk about what to say to coaches. And if you're on a varsity game or you're a new official, it's like, all right, you lead the coaches meeting this time. It's like, what do I say? All right. This is what we always start with. Coach, are your players properly equipped? Almost all the time they either say yes or to my knowledge they are. And that's when we say, well, this player has this illegal equipment, this player has this illegal equipment. Can you rectify that before we start the game? Less is more at the coaches meeting. All right, but definitely every single time is everybody equipped. The other two things I talk about, if you have a question, just ask. You know, I'll always talk to you. Ask a question, and I'll give you the answer, not saying that we're always right or wrong, but at least we're going to give you the information. And then the last thing I always ask the coaches is respect the coach's box. If you're out coaching your kids, I'm going to help you get in the coach's box. But if you're out being unsporting, we're going to have to enforce a rule. Less is more at that coaches meeting. But you're making a lot of first impressions with the coaches. All right, number 48.
Question 48, the cord of the net shall A, be more than 144 thread twine. B, momentarily check the ball as it passes through. C, be any color. D, be over 18 inches in length.
I wonder if the answer is this. The two instances that come up is a team that likes to press. They might put on new nets often, so then it almost stops the ball from going through the net very quickly. And then the other situation that come up, and it's not saying that a team is doing this on purpose, but if a net becomes so loose or comes off the rim, now there's a hole in the net. All right, now we got to change change that net. All right, so it should only momentarily check. It should not stop and hold there so a team could set up a press. And just so happens it's in their favor in the second half when they're on defense in the second half. All right, that's usually. Yes, sir. What would you do? I would go to the game administration and ask them if they have another net that they could put up. If only one net really checks it, I would want to try to make both nets as equal as possible. Number 49. Yeah, new basketball official.
If the shot clock is utilized, the shot clock operator shall be located at the scorer's table.
All right, new rule this year.
Score timers table, whatever.
All right, at the scorer's timers table. All right, again, an email was sent in to me from a Class C school. They got their shot clock in. What they're having a hard time now is finding an installer because they just can't bring in custodian Sean and install these shot clocks because I will definitely screw it up. I promise you that. So they have to find somebody who's approved by whatever company they got their shot clock from. And they asked me, when we get these going, does it have to be a registered certified official to work the shot clock? I said, no. The only requirement is that person has to sit at the scores table. So it can't be an assistant coach on the bench. And then last but not least, number 50 is mine. All right. The head coach may, by state association adoption, stand in a designated coaching box. We do have that. Stand within the coaching box to request a timeout. Yes. Stand within the coaching box to replace or remove a disqualified or injured player. It is D, all of the above. A side note on C, if there is a player down and you believe they potentially are injured, don't immediately wave that coach on. Because once we wave that coach on, what does that player have to do? They have to leave. Okay, so now obviously if it's an obvious injury and the coach comes out their own, cool, I'm good with that. But if it's at 50-50, once they come on, that player's got to come off. All right, so don't beckon in that coach or athletic trainer until you definitely know. All right, so that is all the above. I'm going to finish the test. All 50 questions are answered. Submit answers. And then if you're impatient like myself, all right, if you go to your account information right after you take the test, and I'm going to go to basketball. I'm going to blow up my screen. 2023, 2024. All right, so 50, don't freak out over 50. All right, 50 times 2 is 100. All right, so we got 50 out of 50. Some people, I failed the test. All right, so that's just, we got 50 out of 50 questions correct. All right, say that again. There used to be 100 questions, yes. Yep, so the last 2 years, as you see by the scores here, is where they went down to 50. So we are appreciative. Yes, we are. Yes, we're going to take about a 5-minute break just so we could hook up. When we do the video, when it comes to YouTube, we're going to have it live on the computer screen. We'll take this 5 minutes. In the back there, I'm going to grab my whistles. If anybody did not get a PSOA whistle, to earn a PSOA whistle, all you got to do is like and subscribe to the YouTube channel that we got going. If you want a shirt, if you want shorts, you could grab one, and then after the meeting, come down and pay for it, honor system. And then if you have to go to the restroom, go to the restroom. But when we come back, I believe it's Gretna versus Lincoln Southwest. We got the first quarter, and I got about 18 little snippets and comments with it. So 5-minute break, 6-minute break. We'll make it even 8 o'clock start, 8 o'clock. Sorry. So we're not live yet, are we? Okay. It wasn't all replay. I'll just leave it at that. But all right. It won't stay blurry, but we're going to cover 1/4. Yeah, leave them on. Yep. We're going to cover 1/4. I made a little handy dandy notes. Those of you who want to revisit this video later, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this 1/4, the 16 things we're going to go over here today, and record it so it's a lot better quality online if you want to come back to it. I'll probably do that for the last meeting as well. All right, but U1 is at the bottom of the screen with the arm up. U2 is at the top of the screen. Referee's in the middle. All right, so referee in the middle, make sure you're pointing black to this goal, white to that goal. Blow your whistle, spit your whistle. All right, so the referee's not going to call a violation on a jump ball. But as we go, all right, so you see the black player right away, right as that ball's going up, he's jumping right for the basketball. So as we saw in the video or the test, if that jumper contacts that ball before it reaches its highest point, that's a quick tip. All right, so in this case, you would call a violation on black. You award the ball to the white team, spot nearest the violation. I would go opposite the scores table. All right, so then who gets the possession arrow? Black would get the possession arrow because we don't have possession yet. All right, we have a violation before possession. White will get the ball because of the violation. Once that thrower has the ball at disposal, they now have team control. That's when we set the possession arrow. Okay. All right, so now we're going to, what's that again? They did not. Nope, they did not call a violation. And then you see the referee here, just like last week, right? What he's doing, he's pointing, he's looking at the scores table, he's going to point which way that possession arrow should go. I will say if that scorekeeper is not looking at you, doesn't set the possession arrow, don't spend too much time. All right, still officiate. Wait until the next whistle to get the arrow correct, but it's just another tidbit that we do. Yep.
Recognizing that the referee doesn't have the whistle, if he or she sees the quick tip, can you use your voice? You can't get your whistle up to your mouth fast enough.
You can. I don't know if I would. If there's not a quote unquote uproar, I'd probably eat it. And then during halftime, hey guys, what'd you think about my toss? Oh, it's horrible. Why didn't you blow the whistle? All right, so the next thing I have here, all right, so the center official, all right, we always say, right, start at free throw line extended. It's okay to move away from home base a little bit. So what he's doing, he's moving up so he gets that look through. It's okay to do that. So just because the mechanic says, hey, free throw line extended, you can move accordingly to get that look through angle. So be active as each play has you be active. All right, now he's going to go down. Sweet. Yep. All right, so here we go. So the C's going up. And as we said right there, I didn't even notice that the first time. All right, when the lead saw the C go up, the lead actually came over. All right, so that is an example of a rotation where the C going up, usually it's a double team, but the C decided to go up and the lead decided to rotate over and allow that C to work higher. And then not now that he's a trail, but the C official who's now at the bottom of the screen. All right, so bottom of the screen, whenever you're the C, I usually am on the out of bounds line. And then obviously if it's right in front of me, I get out of bounds. But at, on, or just outside the out of bounds line. That way you don't get in the way of the play. Shot goes up and we go. The next one we have here is this cut, or is it a screen? Is the next comment I have here right there. Everyone see it? If you guys don't think these players are doing this on purpose, you're kidding yourself. And this goes back to everybody has a right to a place on the basketball court. And we got to ask ourselves, who got to that spot first? All right, so the defense has the right to this spot. You could say this player's cutting all he wants, which he can cut all he wants. But what he can't do is he can't displace the opponent. All right, so if the official were to call an illegal screen, what signal would we use? This. And then we would have to explain to the coach while reporting, moving while screening. Well, he wasn't screening, he was cutting. Yeah, but when he was cutting, he displaced the opponent, which gave your teammate a wide open shot inside the lane. All right. Yeah, that's, well, coach. Oh! All right, let's watch this out. What do you guys got? All right, so a lot of judgments. Let's talk about the first one. Is the defense legal? All right, so Susan, you're saying no. Why, in your opinion, is the defense not legal? Right. Yep, forget about the restricted area. It's not there. So has the defender gained legal guarding position against the ball handler? Absolutely. So now once I gain legal guarding position against the offense, my opponent, I can move laterally, I can move obliquely, I could duck and absorb, I could jump straight up. Who initiated contact? Offense. And where do they initiate contact? Torso. So could we have had a charge? We could have. All right. So we have, talk about context now. All right. We have the cut screen. We have the offense initiating contact, no call. So now as a crew, this is really our first judgments of all the game. As a crew, we've had 2 no calls on 50-50. All right. And we have to now start processing this. How are the players and coaches reacting to these no calls? All right. If the players and coaches are cool with these no calls, I'm awesome. All right. But if they're upset about these no calls, now I might have to start, all right, do we have to tighten up a little bit and call more fouls? Yep. But is it goaltending? So this is a good block. All right. The reason why it probably surprises a lot of us, how many people have seen plays like this? 6 foot, 7 foot, jumping high. All right, so we got 2 in the room. All right, so I wrote a note here. When it comes to goaltending, you have to be 100% certain that ball's on its downwards flight. If you think it's still going upwards or it's at its highest point, don't call it. All right? All right, it's got to be completely downward flight. Gwen? Ooh, his question is, should the lead ever call goaltending? I'm not going to say never. They should never call it on this play. On a fast break, maybe. There's times where I'm a lead and I get beat. I'm going to get beat tomorrow pretty good. And if I'm behind the play in that backside, I could call it. If it's so egregious where the house is going to burn down, and I know it's goaltending, I will. The other time that I will call it goaltending, I have a foul. I have a foul on the shooter. All right, then here comes a teammate, and the teammate puts it back into the hoop after the foul. All right, if I have that information as a calling official, I'm gonna get it right. All right, so learning point there is not this play, but trail and see if your lead calls a foul and it's a shooting foul, that ball's up above the rim, you have to keep officiating that, make sure nobody else goaltends it out on defense or basket interference in. John? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so if the ball is a layup and it's below the rim when they initially hit it off the backboard, the defense could hit it off the backboard as long as it's still on its upward flight. All right, in high school, they can play it off the backboard. All right, so this game started so far 50-50 calls, no calls. Okay, we have to be ready, be aware of that when it comes to officiating. All right, so what do we got here? Out of bounds. All right, so we raise our hand, violation. He's pointing to the out of bounds line. That's what's communicating now to the masses what we have. Always officiate for the deaf and the blind. All right, so if I am watching the game and I'm deaf, I'm looking at his body language and signals. If I can't see, I would like to hear the voice. Boop, boop. Shooter's on the line, out of bounds, and it's going to be white ball. Okay. Sideline out of bounds, good bounce pass. And so this offense runs a lot of rub routes is what we call them. All right, I'm going to come back to this and go in slow motion a little bit. All right, the step back. What foot's the pivot foot? All right, some might say right foot. Has he completed gathering the basketball yet? That's your judgment as an official, okay? I cannot honestly say 100% with this camera angle. I don't know if his right foot's on the ground right now. I don't know if he's actually gathered the basketball yet. All right, so there's going to be some more traveling, but with the step back, all right? Usually what they'll do is they'll jab forward as they're gathering the basketball, and as they're gathering the basketball, they lift up that first leg. So the judgment is, was that right foot on the ground when they actually gathered it, or was it in the air at the time that they gathered it? Right, wrong, or indifferent. There's sometimes the players have to adjust to us. There's other times we have to adjust to the game. This step back like this, if nobody's saying anything on it, I'm not calling it. Okay. Now, if the opponent consistently is saying that we can't guard that is illegal. They're stepping back after they gather the basketball. All right, now I'm going to call it. All right, so one official last meeting says, I'm the only one in this room that calls that. Well, and stop. Okay? Because we're just bringing attention to ourselves. So, yeah, there's times black and white. Safety fouls are black and white. Fairness fouls, nobody's saying anything. I'm leaving the attention off of me. Correct. Yep. So, boom, right foot, jump back, land on both. I can still do that. Absolutely. Was that a kick? And why was this not a kick? Not intentional. Struck his leg, but definitely didn't do it intentionally. So no kicking violation. Oh, I'm glad you guys said that. All right, so this is my threshold. What was he going to do with the basketball? He was going to hand it off to his teammate. Whoop, changed my mind. Okay, I'm not saying I would have called it in this situation, but that's what I am mentally processing. All right, I'm going to pass it to my teammate. Oh shoot, they're going to steal my pass. Now I'm going to start my dribble again. All right, they're going to do one thing and then decide to dribble again. Yep. Again, for whatever reason, so far in this game, 50-50 judgment calls have been nothing. Okay. Yeah, the C can't slide up there. This is the art of officiating, right? The science is the rule book, and now we got to find the art and balance of what do we have to call. And I tell you, every game is going to be different. All right, and I want the players and coaches to give me some influence of how they want their game together want to be officiated. Block shot. Everybody came down clean. All right, what'd you guys have on this one? All right. So there is. All right, so if your judgment is he has control of the ball right now, which foot's the pivot foot? Right foot. Lifts up his right, lowers his right. All right, did he do the shuffle? All right, so a lot of judgment. Forget about the judgment. What's the only way to get that call right? Right. So he may be straight line, but forget about his position. When you're on the court, what do you have to do mentally to get these calls right? There it is. Gather, pivot foot. All right. So what I'll do is I tap my leg. All right. Not on every play, but on tight plays like this, because I want to give a signal not only to myself, but if coaches go back, hey, coach, out his right foot is pivot foot. That's why I'm tapping my right leg. So now if I truly have time to go back and take a look at it, I take a look. Did I get it right? Was his right foot, was his left foot the pivot foot? And then now I'll go back, Jason. All right, I obviously missed it. Why the heck did I miss it? Was it my positioning? Was I still moving? All right, that's a lot of times why I miss calls. I'm still moving. I didn't get to the position when I needed to get there before. All right, again, 50-50, no call. All right, so we had a question? So closely guarded is what you're referring to. When the defender's feet are within 5 feet, 6 feet, 6 feet of the ball handler. And a reference of what 6 feet is on the basketball court, free throw line to the top of the arc is 6 feet. All right, so whenever the defense is within 6 feet of that ball handler, we're going to start our closely guarded count. When they're holding it, you're going to use one arm. They start their dribble, you want to use the other arm. When they stop their dribble, go back to that first arm. Any defender in high school, yep, they can switch. So if it's 2 seconds, and then they switch defenders, 3 seconds, they switch defenders again, boom, there's my violation, 5 seconds. All right. Good question there. All right, so here's the first foul call of the game. Okay, so we have a rebound. All right, so now we have a foul. All right, we got one cringe in here. All right, not sure if this official's online or not. All right, but who cares about the judgment? This is what, again, I always look at it if I'm coaching. What did my player do wrong? Do I know yet? Do I know what player did? Because there was 2 players around there. I don't know which one yet. All right. All right. We definitely know we have a close fist. We have a foul. We definitely know the direction, so we know it's going to be black ball. So now let's go to the reporting area. Dang it. So what I wrote down here is if we're going to have a foul here, which is fine, we could have a foul. All right, so we got the arm in between the opponent. I would go hold here. All right, hold, maybe illegal use of hands, but we talk about incidental versus illegal. Incidental contact, we have 2 opponents contacting each other, correct? Are both players at the end of the contact in equally favorable position? If we could pass on it, let's pass on it. Now, had black lost control of it, now it's loose ball. Boop, boop. Now we have a foul because black had control. After the contact, they lost control. Now let's bang the foul. Okay. All right, so give that preliminary signal and make sure we have the player's number who did it. Never came to a stop. Yeah. You want to know what? I am going to talk on that. So you do see coaches a lot when their team dead ball, right? Walking onto the court, a foul just went against his team. I'm probably not addressing it at this moment. Right? I'm aware of it, but then I'm probably going to wait to see how the coach responds. Is he going to be yelling at me because of my judgment call? Is he going to get back to the box when I come back there? I'm probably not going to do anything on that. Not going to, because has he talked to me? I try never to be the aggressor with a coach. I want the coach to be the aggressor to me, to initiate it. Now, had he stayed on the court, that's an aggressor. Like he's not my court. No, it's the player's court. It's not my court coach. It's not your court coach. This is the player's court. But I would not have addressed because the coach actually did everything good there. Who? Which foot's the pivot foot? All right, so we'll go left. It's all right. If you say so, is this gather or not? Now it's gathered. So left foot's the pivot foot. Left foot's the pivot foot. All right. So now we have, again, we are literally going slow motion. And I could probably say, defend if you think it's a travel, I agree with you. If you defend it's not a travel, I probably agree with you. Should we call that? Yeah, no. We need to know that if I think he traveled, didn't travel. Okay. And yep, coach is in his there. That's fine. And if you want to know what, if you're the only official game after game after game after game that has 12 travels and your partners have 1, self-reflect. Self-reflect. All right. Yep. Is it 4-0? All right, so another thing, we do this a lot as officials. Where is this lead official looking right now? Straight down the court. Where should we be looking? Middle of the court. All right, when you're running down that court, that floor won't foul, the wall won't foul. When you're running down the court, 2-person or 3-person, have that head over the shoulder looking down the middle of the court. All right, sweet. So this is where I put another note, art and science of basketball. All right, because we have a hand check. If I have an extended arm bar on a dribbler, we have been told for the past 4 years, automatic foul, automatic foul, automatic foul, automatic foul. But after the contact by both players, dribbler has the hand out against the defender. The defender has now an extended arm bar on the ball handler. Did that play need a foul? That play did not need that automatic hand check, extended arm bar. We just took away excitement from the game. All right, so again, we don't want to interject ourselves into a game that doesn't need us to be interjected. Now, had that dribbler stepped out of bounds to make that pass? Well, the only reason he stepped out of bounds is because of the extended arm bar. Now let's call that hand check. All right, so if people watching this video are mad at, hand checks are not automatic. They are still a common foul that has to reach the definition of foul. All right, what do we have to do with these players? All right, at the soonest opportunity, without taking your attention away from officiating, you don't even have to make eye contact. Hey guys, gotta sit, gotta sit. They could stand up for spontaneous. Their teammate just made an awesome dunk at a state tournament, but now we have to have them sit. All right, we don't want the opponent thrown to the bench because they have standing players. Boom, good job, they sit down. All right, so we see this quite a bit. I'm going to rewind it here because we do see some calls like this. Does the defender have legal guarding position? No. All right. But does he have a right to this spot on the basketball court? Absolutely. All right. So we may not necessarily have a charge. All right. But that offensive player just can't bulldoze him out so he gets in front of the basket. So there was no foul there, but how many times have we seen offense underneath the basket, then all of a sudden, boom, displace the opponent so they get out in front of the basket? They cannot displace. All right, so another judgment call here. Does this defender have legal guarding position? Okay, and what could defenders do once they have legal guarding position? Laterally, obliquely, jump straight up, move backwards. Did they ever move forward? All right, so that's what you're going to have to explain to a coach, because a coach, if he misses this shot, is going to want a shooting foul. All right, they were moving into my shooter. They were moving in, but your shooter moved into them. Okay, so it was the offense moving forward, not the defense. So good incidental contact, no foul. I think this is going to be double team rule here. All right, here's the double team. All right, so what can the defense not do here? All right, they can't move forward. A lot of times when I have a double team, I'm watching the defender's feet. Now, if the defender's feet are solid, all right, I'm going to consider them legal. But how many times do they just keep on going like this? All right, so that would be illegal for the defense. Now, offense, what if they try to step through that double team? So they get their head and shoulder past those two defenders. If they go down to the ground, who's the foul on? Offense. All right, so another definition of a charge is going through one player's torso or stepping through a double team. Now, I'm not going to call a charge on a double team step through unless it puts the defense at a disadvantage. All right, I'll go with the no call. I'll go with the violation if it goes out of bounds. But just understand it's legal for the defense to double team. But on the step through, we should not call a block on the defense because it's the offense that stepped through that double team. Yes, sir. So there isn't. If they're double team and they're swinging elbows and not making contact, boop, open hand violation. All right, elbow. Ideally, that's what we want. We want to get that violation. Nobody got hurt. All right. Now, if they swing with the elbow upwards versus downwards and they make contact, now you have a foul. If you think they did it to injure, harm, savage, like it's that game situation of these players have been at it all time, you could call it flagrant. All right? This is a very strong weapon. All right. All right. So is it legal to reach in basketball? All right. So this is legal. All right. A reach is absolutely legal. However, now what does he do as he's reaching? All right. He moves forward while reaching, and with his body, he contacts the offense. Correctly called, preliminary, block. All right. So now the coach knows, right, exactly what his player did incorrectly. Use his body to impede the opponent. All right, so new rule this year. Actually, this is actually going to be a new rule, but talk about the spot of the foul. Where did this spot of the foul happen? In the semicircle. So in high school basketball, all right, if it's in this semicircle, it's an imaginary line down. Anything inside the semicircle, imaginary line down, we're going to go to the baseline. All right, so semicircle in high school is baseline. Baseline out of bounds. All right, so a very good job, resumption of play, of having the inbounds going to the baseline instead of the sideline. And if you guys don't think coaches are paying attention to that point, to the baseline, you're kidding. You're kidding yourself. Because it's a lot easier to have a lot of inbound plays to score here than it is sideline. All right, so take that point of resumption of play important, because coaches are taking this time now to get a sub in, to get a play in, so they get their offensive team the best opportunity to get 2 or 3 points. Yeah, I'm not sure why. Not calling any travels. The 2 fouls you called against our team. You're the only one calling fouls. You're the only one calling fouls against our team. Coach, it's the first quarter. There's only been 2 fouls, man. But that is how coaches think, by the way. All right. There's no doubt to me, by the way, that this official gets this call right, and we have the worst absolute angle on this call. But what I have here is what official has the best look The C. Okay? So if I'm the C here, I am not signaling anything. I'm not blowing my whistle, but I'm going to be aware that my partner doesn't have as good of a look as me. All right, I took a deep breath. What hand did he raise? He raised his left hand. So when we work proper mechanics, me raising my left hand tells me what? He's going to point with his left hand the other way. Had my partner raise his right hand, I'm going to start walking this way. All right, I'm going to give him my judgment. Please point this way. Please point this way. All right, and then hopefully he'll just go and point that way. Now, if he doesn't, let's say he raises his right hand, I'm walking this way, boom. Now I am now going to go in and give him information. And the first thing I say is, what did you see? All right, because how many people have given a team the ball because they passed on a foul? Has anyone done that in here besides me? Okay, do coaches like it? All right, so you go up to that coach who's upset. Why would you pass on the foul and just give the other team the ball? Coach says, I'm trying to help you. All right, that's your best player. He's got 3 fouls. If I call a foul on him, that's 4 fouls on your best player. And guess who's got the ball? The other team. So that's why I passed on the foul. Oh, thanks, Sean. All right, and if you're able, this situation doesn't call for that. But I think it is okay to tell a coach, hey, coach, I had a foul on that one, and I passed on it. And they're going to be mad. You can't pass on fouls, Sean. Then I explain to them why I passed on the foul. You have that coach in your hip pocket the rest of the game. You just helped his team. And yes, you gave the other team the ball. But you saved the foul. But out-of-bounds calls like this. This is the crew awareness, partner awareness. Left hand, sweet. He's got it right. Right hand, I'm going to start walking. If he points the wrong way, what do you have? Give him the information. I had it off of black 3. It's up to them if they want to take the information out. I am not going to force them to change their call. All right, it's up to them. And this is where I believe he gets the call right for sure. Any discussion from the players? No. Boom, good job. Good crew communication. All right, so what's the call on the court? Do we have? All right, so slow motion. All right. Hey, go ahead, John. Okay. All right, so right now, whose call is it? C. C is the primary calling official because he's still a C and he remains a C until this lead official comes over and finishes it. Slow motion. Does the C have a look at the defender's arm or hands right now? All right. Does the lead have a good look at the hands and arms? Okay. So I think both may be able to see it. I wouldn't even have a problem with the double whistle here. Do we agree at least we need a whistle here? Okay. So let's say it was a C's call. Let's give the C the first opportunity at it. Because notice, this is when the foul happens. All right. He hesitated a little bit. All right. Now we have illegal use of hands. All right. I'm guilty of this, by the way, too. So I'm not throwing this official underneath the bus because I'll do it at least twice a game. But a chuck is not a high school mechanic. All right. It's a college mechanic. All right. What you want to do, hand check. All right, you could say one hand continuously on. You could give the arm bar story. But then again, there's people that thinks that when we do the hits to the head, when we do the chucks, we're bigger than the game. So just stick with that, the NFHS mechanics. We didn't talk about it yet, throwing. All right, so in football, we call it pre-snap routine. In basketball, we should have a pre-throw-in routine. All right, how many people have a pre-throw-in routine? All right, so Chad, what's the first thing you do when you have a throw-in? All right, count 5 and 5. Arthur, what's the second thing you do? Or what's another thing you do? Yeah, I'm looking at the benches. Is the coach actively looking for a sub, especially after a foul? Now, this is early in the game, but if I don't do it all the time, when it matters the most in the fourth quarter, I forget to do it. All right, so I'm looking at the benches, make sure there's no substitutions. Anyone else do anything else? All right, partner in position. Is this partner ready right now? Nope. I will know my trail official is ready when they get their arm up. Okay, that's how I know my trail official is ready. So 5-5, partners are ready, no substitutes. And now, to avoid ever using the new rule this year, what else do I have to do? Make sure it's the correct team inbounding the ball. All right. Oh, great job. So checking the clock. So 23 on the shot clock. So 2:57 on the game clock. Mathematicians, what's the magic number on this? You guys ever hear of the magic number yet? All right, so we got a foul on defense, shot clock reset. All right, so let's play this out. Let's see if they reset it. Maybe that's what he's saying. Yep, there's a reset. All right, so now we have a new magic number, 47, 37, 27, 22. All right, so 222 is my magic number. All right, so good job, dead ball officiating. Making sure everything's all kosher. Over the back! 100%. So the comment in the bench is, you can be more athletic than your opponent. He is literally reaching over the opponent body frame right now. This is 100% legal. 100% legal to jump above and reach over your opponent. All right. It is the opponent's job to block out the opponent so they don't do that. So great no call. Yes, coach, it is legal. He went over his back. As I would say, I agree with you. Long three. All right. Judgment call. All right, so we have a long three. We have a rebound. Is 15 legal right now? So 15 was landing. All right. So that's what you're going to have to then report. Boom, he went block. All right, moving into the shooter. All right. So now we have a foul in our judgment. All right, number 15, while guarding, was moving forward. Now remember, from a big picture, who looked like they got fouled more? Defense. It looked like they got fouled more, but when you have the offense and defense going into each other, it's not who gets hit harder. It's always going to be on the defense. The defense cannot move forward into that offensive player. All right, so we got free throws here. I will say this, NFHS did not change this mechanic. I am going to ask NSAA if we could, as a crew, not statewide, but if I'm working with 2 other officials, lead official, officiate these 3 on your side, center official, officiate these 3 on your side. And the reason for that is when you have 3 players on the same side, rather than 1 player on one side, and then on the other side, your eyes can't focus on both. And what we miss is this number 23 and 0, shove underneath the basket. Okay? Because the breakdown is this official right now has shooter and these 2. This official has 50 and 0, so they actually have opposite sides, and it's hard to officiate that. So on the second shot, he doesn't do it very much, but it's what I would call a precursor of what could happen later in the game when it's a 1-point ball game. And again, I'm really officiating these 2. See the hands on the back? All right, so that's me mentally telling myself, oop, I got to watch that player later in the game. Because if he's doing that now, when it really matters, he's going to do it. What's that? Mm-hmm. Oh, 100%. 100%. Yep, screen's good there. Outside the visual confines, he's got to tell him. All right, so we talk about sometimes in basketball there's collisions. Like this isn't a collision play, but this is the type of play where there could be collisions. This screener does give this defender enough time. This defender just doesn't know he's there. All right, he doesn't have a teammate. He doesn't have a teammate telling him. Think of what's coming up. Yep, active shooting. All right. Is he in the act of shooting right now? No, I agree with you. All right. A shot fake is not a habitual movement to start a shot. A step through is not habitual movement to start a shot. Everyone see the foul on the defense here, though? All right. So, boom. We got double whistle, which is fine. And when we have a double whistle, who should hold? All right. Outside official. So here we got 2 officials with a foul. All right. So official 1, official 2. On the outside, we train officials blow and hold. All right. He blew and held because all we know the center official had was a foul. And this official correctly rules, right, that shot did not start. All right, so good job of not making this a shooting foul because a shot fake, a step through is not a habitual movement to start a shot. All right, so we're doing our throw-in routine, looking for subs, making sure we have 10. They reset the shot clock, looking at our partners. All right, let's play ball. Offense initiated contact, didn't displace the defender. Equally favorable, play on. Uh-oh. All right, let's see. So now, would everyone agree when he gathered it, both feet were on the floor, right? So he lifts his left foot first. So now which one's his pivot foot? Right foot? Boop. All right, so that one, I call that the track starter. All right. I wasn't expecting to drive to the basket. Then all of a sudden, defense came at me strong. All right, I'm not sure if you saw the body language of the coach, but he was right here. All right, still no travels in this game. Illegal to reach at the basketball. All right, so 1 minute signals because we're underneath one. So every whistle, all three officials have clock awareness. This is the point of the quarter where the whole crowd, ooh, uh-oh. All right. Who's the foul on? Black. So who's going to inbound the ball? Where at? All right. Watch what happens when we don't communicate clearly. Watch what happens. All right, all we're doing is pointing at the spot, right? Everyone's confused. Who's got the ball right now? Yeah, pointing a lot at the spot. Yeah, we know we're inbounding the spot there. Do we have all the information? Do we have any information on who the foul's on yet? No. All right, so if you're going to do this correctly, we do have a correct call. Foul on the black team. We got to hold. We got to push out. Boom. Hold. Black 3. Staying here. Going this way. Nice and clear. No confusion now. We might have disagreement on my call, but the more we cause confusion, the more frustration people are going to have. All right, so over-communicate on an uncommon situation. That's an uncommon situation. And for all the officials out there who say when the lead official calls a foul on this side, comes and reports and stays table side, that's not a long switch. That's a correct switch. Okay? Lead official, opposite table. We're going the other way. Come over, report, you're the center official. All right, we are staying here. All right, and they properly switch. All right, and he's table side. All right, he is in a spot where he could communicate with the coaches. All right, so this is not a long switch. This is a proper switch. We have a foul in the front court, and we switch. Just like if it were to be a shooting foul. Foul, report, stay table side, and there's the table. Go to the coach and explain the foul. Notice how the partner here, and this is the last part, notice how the partner here, he's taking a little bit more time. Why is this partner taking a little bit more time? Yeah, he's allowing his partner to describe to the coach what happened. All right, now, yep, sub came in, sub's done. All right, so again, this is crew awareness, this is game awareness. Now, if this coach is upset and is arguing, now, as an inbounding official, guess what I'm probably going to do? I'm going to get the game going. This is a good conversation. This is a informative, educative conversation. We don't have any unsporting behavior yet. All right, let's go. All right, this is my signal now. I'm ready. All right, I gave the coach the information. Let's get that ball in play. Let's play some basketball. Shot clock awareness. So shot clock is off. So opposite table, C or T, will have the shot. In this case, it's the center official. That's why he went to his chest. Boo-boo, end of the first quarter. All right. So that is 1 quarter of basketball that we broke down in 1 hour. All right. This is our last scheduled preseason practice. What I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to have a couple more, not live here in the room, but I will have a couple live on YouTube channel. That way we do a better job of just focusing on the game. All right. But thank you for coming out today. Those of you online, if you do have questions or comments, just leave it at the YouTube channel. I'll be able to answer it by tomorrow. And those of you here, have a great night. Oh, yeah. So Monday the 30th, if you want varsity tryouts, all right, you're looking for varsity games and you did not go to the first clinic, you can still register. Monday, October 30th, games are 6, 7, 8, and 9. I think I have room for 3 more officials. So if you do want to try out for varsity, just send me an email and I'll get you on the tryout for varsity there. All right, call tonight. We're only as good as our last call.